What's going on, guys? This is Purgatory, and welcome to an album review. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I felt like I probably should since I promised this one. So today's album review, this album's been out for about 3 months already, and it is Sabaton: The Great War. As you guys can see, with this version, I actually got the earbook, which comes with the history edition and the standard edition. It also comes, it just shows a bunch of like stories and stuff in the book. Like, as you can see, we'll talk about this song specifically in the video, but it shows like the lyrics to the song, and then it shows like the story of the song right there. It's pretty cool. It might be one of my one of my favorite additions to any album ever. They did this for, I think, for the Last Stand album as well, and I didn't get a chance to actually pick that up. I wasn't going to miss out on a chance to get this one. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start with my review, starting with what I thought of the album. If you're only somebody who wants to know just a general thought, I will say this now because I don't bullshit anything. I love the album. It might be one of my favorite Sabaton albums. I think it is. It is absolutely incredible on how much love and passion I have heard in this album, and how much variety is in this album. And I think this is going to be definitely a fantastic heavy metal album to go down in the history of anything, especially as a military history album. They really focused on military history and making sure the education for that history was portrayed or projected very well, and I do appreciate that very much. Let's go ahead and go into the song, starting with the first song, that is The Future of Warfare. The song is about tanks. It is fantastic. It gets straight to the point, and it's a very fitting Sabaton song, knowing that Sabaton has a signature tank. That's their whole thing, is they have this tank that it's like where the drummer is on, if you guys know what the live shows, and it's just perfect for them. So I can see why they would make the first song of the album the tank, because I think it was also that the tanks were engineered at the beginning of World War One. If I'm mistaken about that, please correct me. I'll actually fact check with my friend who's really good at all the history, and just fact check online as well. Awesome song. It's very straight to the point, very power metal-y. There's a lot of power to it, so that's my favorite. One of the top songs for me. Next song is Seven Pillars of Wisdom. I think this is about Lawrence of Arabia. Yeah, he fought alongside tribes in northern Africa. He's highlighted as a hero in this because he's done a lot of work for years in World War One, especially in northern Africa. So this song highlights him, and basically the song is, I don't know how to really describe it. It has a lot of I'm gonna say a repeated term to this entire video. It has a lot of power to it. It's very catchy. There's a lot of complicated guitar riffs in there. There's a really nice guitar solo. A lot of the lyrics, they're pretty straight to the point, but they make it sound good. So this is also another top song in this entire album for me. Track number 3, 82nd All the Way, is about Alvin York, I think his name is. He just went above and beyond in World War One. He was just a major war hero, and he was from Tennessee, USA. You can probably hear it in the background, funny enough. This is possibly one of my favorite songs on this album because they portray very accurately how much bravery and how much power that this guy felt whenever he was in World War One. There was a lot of fear in World War One, but this guy fought through all of it, and the amount of effort they put into the song was absolutely amazing, and it really gave me a feel that how brave Alvin York was in World War One. So I can appreciate that because of the guitar solo, because of just how catchy the song is. I'm a sucker for catchy things, and this song is extremely catchy. Attack of the Dead Men. This is my favorite song on the entire album. Attack of the Dead Men it's also one of my favorite stories. It is about how Russians were defending, I can't remember what they were defending, were gassed by the Axis, or the Germans, I can't remember too well, but they were being gassed. That's the whole important part. But the fact is, their mission was to protect that place at all costs, and they did. They pretty much walked inside the gas. They had scarves over their faces. They looked like zombies, and they scared off the enemy forces just by the fact of their looks. This is one of my favorite stories because I like kind of like dark stories like this, to where it just shows like a lot of strength out of somebody. The song portrays it in a way I didn't think they would. It is beyond catchy. I love the chorus of the song. I literally dance every time I hear it. Most of the time. It's actually playing right now. So there you guys go. Definitely my favorite song in this entire album. I would recommend you guys listen to it as well. If you have not heard a single Sabaton song yet. Devil Dogs. Devil Dogs, I'm not too sure about the story. I think it's about a certain group of military American troops who pretty much are excited to go into the battle. When a lot of people are scared, they kind of just go in, like pretty much meaning hell has arrived whenever they show up on the battle. That's all I can remember too much from it. I listened to a lot of the history edition. So this song, I like this song a ton. It might be my 4th or 5th favorite song on the album. It's one of my least listened to songs on the album. Obviously, I don't remember too well. Again, with the ways that they made the song, a repeating term, power, there's a lot of power in the song. There's a lot of catchiness as well. It's the riffs are what I really highlight with this song because they sound so melodic, but like they also sound very heavy metally. It's weird how they combine those two together, and they did a fantastic job with it. So yeah, it's not my complete favorite song on the album, but I would say it's probably 5th or 6th favorite. Next song, The Red Baron. This was actually, I think, the 2nd single that they released on the album, and it's about the Red Baron, pretty much. This one I would say is possibly one of the more different songs in the album. It's very punk rock sounding. There's a lot of catchy, like, I don't want to compare, but kind of like a Blink-182-y kind of sound, like older days Blink-182. Not like too much like that, if that makes any sense. It's kind of hard to say the comparison there, but they sound different. It sounds different from what Sabaton usually does, and but they still keep the power, which I don't understand how they do. But these men, they're absolutely talented with that stuff. So the song structure is possibly one of my favorites. I just like how they started with the song with the organ and then go on into song. It's amazing. So I definitely recommend listening to this one. Next song is The Great War. Now, basically just summarizes everything of the Great War, and they highlight questioning what's so great about this war. Like, why is people are going into the war to die, all for death, and who's really the winner here? It's a really emotionally powerful song that highlights the brutality of the Great War, and I really appreciate what they did with this song. It's not generally about a specific person. It's not about a specific battle. It's just about the Great War in general, and I highly recommend you guys listen to the song. Next, A Ghost in the Trenches. The story is about a sniper who is in the trenches who sneaks around, pretty much assassinating enemy camps. He goes around and he basically is never detected. It's pretty much a stealth mission for him, if you know what video game terms. It's pretty much he's on a stealth mission in World War One. It's fantastic, amazing song. It starts off with a lot of power. It actually scared me when I first heard the song, but I would say by how they structured the song with the guitar solos and the chorus, it is absolutely phenomenal. So definitely a 2nd favorite. I would definitely recommend you guys go ahead and listen to this as well right after you listen to Attack of the Dead Men. It's fantastic. Fields of Verdun. This was their first single that they released, and I would say it's possibly the weakest song of the album. It's harsh to say that, even though I love Verdun. I love the song itself. I just think it's the weakest one on the entire album. I don't really feel too much power with this song as much as I do with the other ones. Knowing Sabaton, they're a power metal band, so they kind of have to stick to that genre while making variety of sound. There is a variety here with this song, but it doesn't really kind of hit that spot right with me with Fields of Verdun. I'm not going to degrade anything about the song, like anything from the album because of that song. It's just I didn't care too much for it, even though the Battle of Verdun is possibly one of my favorite stories. I would probably say listen to this song last, but it's a great song nonetheless. So, The End of the War to End All Wars. Now, this one had to grow on me. This one, I would say, is right above Fields of Verdun. I would say it's a interestingly powerful song. They kind of highlight, it's pretty much highlighting the end of the Great War, and the way they do it, I didn't expect them to do that. I thought this was gonna be like I thought it was gonna be a sad song. I thought it was gonna be like one of those. We start hearing, Joakim Broden completely serenade us, but it's actually not that. It's insanely heavy. I would say it's possibly one of the heaviest songs on the album, next to the Great War. But it had to grow. I would say if you listen to this first, it's gonna have to grow on you. I have to give it about 10 listens, which probably extends out why my review took so long to make. I would say this is a solid song. The structure in it in general is very different from the rest of the songs on the album, and I would say it's slightly better than Fields of Verdun, but not too much. And it's a great song, and I do recommend you guys giving it a listen and trying to make it grow on you if you're not a newcomer to Sabaton, if that makes any sense. And the last song is In Flanders Field. It's beautiful. It gave me chills down my spine. I thought it was gonna be. I thought the last two songs on this album were gonna be melodical, serenading songs, like those little softer songs. But this one, it was soft, but it wasn't as I expected it to. It pretty much in Flanders Field is the most different song in this entire album. They have an entire choir come in and they sing the poem of In Flanders Fields. I'm gonna try to see if I can link that poem. I'm not sure if it's an actual poem, actually, to be completely honest with you guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and link that in the description below, so you guys can read it as well and listen to the song. It puts chills down my spine. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's a great way to end off the album. All the songs on this album are very solid. It's would I say it's a perfect album? Yes. It's difficult to say a perfect album or not, but this album, there's almost little to no flaws, and I can't even downgrade it because of a flaw, because the only flaw I had with the album was Fields of Verdun. Fields of Verdun, I think, was the weakest song on the album, but it's still a fantastic song. The scoring of this is very weird for me. My final verdict on this album, again, you guys know I don't give scores, so I'm going to give recommendations. If you're a fan of heavy metal in general, I would recommend listening to this album. If you are a Sabaton fan, 100% give this album a shot. If you're anybody who loves just power metal and Swedish metal, easily give this album a try. I'm almost guaranteed that you guys are gonna like it. If you haven't heard the album yet, and I'm wearing the Sabaton Great War shirt, no need to brag. That is gonna be it for my review. This album, you're gonna see the ranking of the songs. You're gonna see the ranking of the songs now. So those are the songs that I'm ranking, and yeah. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe if you're brand new to the channel, and comment what you think of Sabaton the Great War. I love you guys, and have a good day.